States join forces to take on illegal robocalls. NASA captures a comet racing in from interstellar space. And which states hand out the steepest speeding fines? Plus subpoenas for New York's Attorney General. NFL preseason kicks into high gear. And your trivia question of the day: which U.S. building is recognized as the world's first skyscraper? It's Saturday, August 9th, and this is the Flyover Podcast. Welcome to the Flyover Podcast, taking you above the noise for an unbiased, high-altitude view of today's headlines with daily coverage that's honest and refreshing. Let's cruise the news and land the facts. Hey there, I'm Amy Hess, and this is your Saturday edition of the Flyover. Big thank you to Christopher for jumping in the last 2 days and doing a fantastic job. He may be an editor, but he definitely has a radio voice. And a quick ask here at the top: if you missed this week's Feel Good Flyover, we'd love your help. We had to repost the episode after it already gained traction, and that reset our view count back to 0. So if you believe good news should be supported and seen, go give it a watch, a like, or a share. It really helps. Okay, we've got some news to get to. We've been cleared for takeoff. Let's start with a few headlines making news this weekend. Here's one that just might restore your faith in bipartisan teamwork. 51 state attorney generals have joined forces in a multi-state effort to crack down on illegal robocalls, sending warning letters to 37 voice providers. That means nearly every state in the country is on board because we can all agree that getting fewer calls at dinner time about your car's extended warranty is a good thing. The providers have 21 days to respond with a compliance plan or face possible enforcement under both federal and state laws. From the phones to the stars, the Hubble Space Telescope has captured an image of the fastest comet ever observed, racing through our solar system at 130,000 miles per hour after traveling the universe for hundreds of millions of years. NASA identified the comet, named 3I Atlas, last month and determined it came from interstellar space, only the third such object ever witnessed in our solar system. It should remain visible to telescopes through September before disappearing behind the sun, then reappearing in early December. And back here on Earth, a reminder to watch your speed. Drivers going 10 miles per hour over the posted limit can expect the highest fines in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Texas. A recent study analyzed 2024 data on average fines and standard court fees across each state, ranking California at $234, Arizona close behind at $231, and Nevada and Texas tied at $223. On the other end of the list, New Mexico and Nebraska have the lowest minimum fines at $25, followed by Montana and North Dakota at $40. The national average is $130, with the median slightly lower at $121. Now let's take a closer look at what's making waves in Washington. The Department of Justice has issued 2 subpoenas to New York Attorney General Letitia James, one over her civil fraud investigation into President Trump and another tied to her probe of the National Rifle Association. She's also under FBI investigation for alleged mortgage fraud. President Trump on Friday removed Billy Long as commissioner of the IRS just 2 months after Long was confirmed. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent will serve as acting IRS chief for now. A federal appeals court has dismissed a contempt ruling against the Trump administration. The 2-1 decision reverses Judge James Boasberg's order over deportation flights that had continued despite his directive to stop them. In Florida, a federal judge has temporarily suspended construction on the Alligator Alcatraz Immigration Detention Center. The 2-week pause comes as legal groups argue the project is violating federal environmental laws. Feeling tired, sluggish, or foggy? It could be poor blood flow. Blood Flow 7 by Juvenon is scientifically designed to support healthy circulation so you feel energized, clear-headed, and vibrant again. Packed with natural ingredients like nitrogen, S7, and trans resveratrol, Blood Flow 7 works by boosting nitric oxide levels, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels, helping your blood flow freely to every corner of your body. That means more oxygen and nutrients to your brain, heart, muscles, and just places that need a little extra help as you age. With just one dose a day, you can reclaim your stamina, support heart health, and improve overall vitality, all without caffeine or stimulants. Try Blood Flow 7 today and feel the difference where it matters most, inside your veins. Visit www.bloodflow7.com/TFO. Again, that's www.bloodflow7.com/TFO, or just click the link in the show notes. Now, here are some extra stories just for you, our podcast listener. You won't find these in the email. We begin with the loss of a true American hero, astronaut Jim Lovell, best known for helping bring Apollo 13 safely back to Earth, has died at the age of 97. The 1970 mission was famously dubbed a successful failure after an oxygen tank explosion forced the crew to abort their trip to the moon and safely navigate the damaged spacecraft back to Earth. Acting NASA Administrator Sean Duffy called Lovell a man of character and steadfast courage, saying his leadership turned a near tragedy into a moment that shaped the future of space exploration. Lovell also flew as the command module pilot for Apollo 8, the first mission to take humans around the moon and back. And of course, he was famously portrayed by Tom Hanks in the film Apollo 13. From space to campus policy, the Trump administration is seeking a $1 billion settlement from UCLA following accusations of anti-Semitism and civil rights violations. A White House official says the university is the first public institution to face a funding freeze tied to these types of allegations. Similar actions have already affected private colleges. And speaking of air travel, the FAA says it plans to supercharge hiring for air traffic controllers, aiming to bring on nearly 9,000 new employees through 2028. But because of expected retirements and attrition, the agency says the real gain will be closer to 1,000, still far short of the 3,000 it says are needed to be fully staffed. Coming up, NFL preseason kicks off in full force. A top high school football recruit cashes in big, and a muscle car drops with a name you've got to hear to believe. Plus, how did AI beat Elon Musk at chess? We've got that and more, but first, let's check out finance news. Here's how the markets wrapped up yesterday, and up being the operative word. The Nasdaq was up nearly 1%, the S&P 500 climbed 0.78%, and the Dow gained about 0.5%. Bitcoin rose just over 2%, and gold closed up 1.62% to finish at $3,455.30 per ounce. Overall, a positive day for the markets. It's Saturday, so time for Beyond Our Borders with a few international stories making headlines this week. First up, Israeli officials confirmed a 5-point plan to take over Gaza City despite international pushback. Meanwhile, India has paused plans to buy U.S. weapons after President Trump imposed a 50% tariff in response to Delhi's Russian oil purchases. And finally, a major diplomatic win. Azerbaijan and Armenia signed a U.S.-brokered peace deal during a meeting with President Trump on Friday, ending decades of conflict and opening the door to new economic ties. Let's take a look at what's happening in sports. 16 teams take the field today in the first full-day slate of NFL preseason action. Are you a Titans, Steelers, or Packers fan? Check out the full schedule. We've got it linked in today's show notes. The number one ranked player in the 2027 high school football recruiting class just committed to Texas Tech, where he's expected to make $3.5 million as part of the Red Raiders NIL and rev share package. And bad news for the Chargers. Star tackle Rashawn Slater is out for the season with a knee injury just 11 days after signing a $113 million contract. Still ahead, we've got your poll results from the Condiment Smoothie Showdown. And don't forget your trivia question of the day. But first, our Etc. section. Here are a few other headlines we thought you'd like to know. Firefighters are battling the fast-moving canyon fire in a mountainous area north of Los Angeles, forcing thousands to evacuate. Dodge is leaning hard into horsepower, unveiling 2 new muscle cars. The 2026 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat Jailbreak with 710 horsepower Hemi V8 engine. Phew, that's a mouthful. And the 2026 Chargers Scat Pack with a 550 horsepower high output engine. And in a showdown of silicon smarts, OpenAI's O3 has officially defeated Elon Musk's Grok 4 in an AI chess tournament. Grok dominated the semifinals but made a huge blunder in the final match. Looks like even AI can choke under pressure. Now it's time for Pole Position, where we turn the mic over to you. Yesterday we asked, which condiment-based smoothie would you prefer? Here's how the results blended together. 38% of you said condiments are smoothies, and I'm right there with you on that one. Ranch dressing came in at 17%, followed by barbecue sauce at 15%, mayo at 12%, ketchup at 10%, and mustard bringing up the rear with 8%. So I love smoothies, and I've been known to put a lot of different stuff in them, like beets, sweet potatoes, walnuts, some pretty out of the ordinary things. But even I have my limits and my dignity. I'm not using condiments. All right, for today's question, did you take driver's ed in high school? Your choices are yes, no, paid instruction, I don't drive. Cast your vote with a link in the show notes, and I'll have the answer for you tomorrow. All right, time for a little brain boost with the answer to today's trivia question. Here's the question again. Which U.S. building is recognized as the world's first skyscraper? The answer? The Home Insurance Building in Chicago, completed in 1885. It's widely regarded as the first true skyscraper, according to architectural historians. It's notable for its innovative use of an iron frame to support the building's weight, marking a significant departure from traditional load-bearing wall construction. This paved the way for the development of future skyscrapers. And with that, we've come in for a landing. I hope you're walking away a little more informed and maybe even entertained too. And don't forget to like, follow, and share. And remember to check out the Feel Good flyover from yesterday, because anytime is a good time to feel good. I'll be right back with you tomorrow for the No Spin news you need to know. Thanks as always for flying with us.